Dear friends, today I will start Chapter 3 of the Indian Patent Act or the Patents Act 1970. Chapter 3 spreads from Section 6 and ends at Section 11. Okay? And Chapter 3 is about the application for patents. Okay? And today I will discuss the starting section of Chapter 3, that is Section 6. What is Section 6? Section 6 is persons entitled to apply for patents. Okay, that means who can apply for the patents, that we will discuss inside this section. Okay, so and I will discuss all the subsections through my key points. Okay, key point. Okay, so subsection 1 says, subject to the provisions contained in section 134, an application for a patent for an invention may be made by any of the following persons, that is to say, below clauses are given A, B and C. Okay, so in subsection 1, just look at the underlined phrases. One is section 134. Okay, we will take a look at that. And another phrase is that any of the following persons, that means the following persons under this clauses A, B and C. Okay, so I will discuss one by one. So this subsection says, subject to the provisions contained in section 134, an application for a patent for an invention may be made by any of the following persons, that is to say, clause A. Actually, I have read it again to make or to flow with the continuity. Okay, so clause A says, by any person claiming to be the true and first inventor of the invention. Look at the underlined word here, underlined phrase. This is true and first inventor. Okay. Clause B says, by any person being the assignee of the person claiming to be the true and first inventor in respect of the right to make such an application. Fine. Clause C says, by the legal representative of any deceased person, that means who is that person who is dead, who immediately before his death was entitled to make such an application. Got it? So, below clauses, they are describing some portions with some characteristics. The first portion should be true and first inventor of the invention. The second clause says, that means the assignee of the person claiming to be the true and first inventor. And clause C says, a person who is the legal representative of any deceased person, who immediately before his death was who was entitled to make such an application, or he was the applicant. Okay, so subsection 1 is completed with this three clauses. Among any of the, that means if any of the clause is satisfied, that means the person may be a true and first inventor, then he can we can say that he is entitled to apply for the patents. If he is the assignee of the person claiming to be the true and the first inventor, he can apply. And if the person is a legal representative of any deceased person, he also can apply. That means out of these three, anyone can be an applicant. Anyone. All the three, we cannot say that all the three characteristics are compulsory. No, any one characteristics is sufficient. Fine. And we have mentioned here section 134. So what is section 134? Section 134 is notification as to countries not providing for reciprocity. What is reciprocity? In simple terms, I must explain that if you are giving me something, or if you are giving me 10 rupees, then only I can provide you 2 pence, 5 rupees each. Okay, so that means there is a exchange of materials or any kind of things, we can say. So in a larger view, we can say privileges granted by one country to another. That means if one country helps one country, or if one country helps the first country helps the second country is also helping the first country, then only there will be a reciprocity and everything will be all right. Fine. So similar in this way, subsection 1 is completed. I will go for subsection 2. Subsection 2 says an application under subsection 1 may be made by any of the persons referred to therein, either alone or jointly with any other person. Here the key phrase is that either alone of this persons, if they are jointly applying with any other persons whom we don't know, then also this subsection is valid for them. That means as per the subsection 2, we can say the persons from subsection 1, they are alone eligible to apply for patents, or they can aid some other person, that means jointly with that other person they can also apply. Okay, fine. Then what are the comments? As per the Barrett, a firm can apply for a patent as assignee. Okay, just remember this, that a firm can apply for a patent. A firm can be an assignee. Okay, a firm can apply for a patent as assignee. Just remember these two things, this underline things. Okay, and I have mentioned a case study here, Signing Industries versus Sri Krishna Industries, year 1975, all 231. Please take a look at it and you will be more clear about this section. Okay. Also, I have mentioned here, for a clear understanding, I have mentioned here section 134 or the summary of section 134, that I will read. Any country specified by the central government as per the notification in the official gazette, if do not grant the same rights with respect to the grant of patents and the protection of patent rights to Indian citizens as it accords to its own nationals, then a national of such country solely or jointly with any other person will be prohibited from the below procedures. Clause A is to apply for the grant of a patent or be registered as the proprietor of a patent. Clause B, to be registered as the assignee of the proprietor of a patent, or Clause C says to apply for a license or hold any license under a patent granted under this act. Okay, that means actually section 134 just explains the meaning of reciprocity. That means if a particular country is not giving the Indian citizens the patent rights and the protection of the grant regarding the grant of patents and the protection of patent rights, but it is providing all the rights to its own citizens but not to Indian citizens, then we have made a law that for the national of such countries, okay, such a country, what we will do, we have prohibited some procedures. That means they cannot apply for the grant of a patent, or they cannot be registered, or we can say, registered as a proprietor of a patent. Okay, and that person cannot be registered as the assignee of the proprietor of a patent, or that person cannot apply for a license or hold any license under a patent granted under this act. That means a person from that particular national cannot apply for the grant of a patent, cannot be registered as the assignee of the proprietor, okay, or cannot apply for the license or hold any license under a patent granted under this act. So just here these three things, clause A is a compulsory thing, but clause B and C you can mark there is a or sign, right? That means either B or C. If any criteria is satisfied for that particular national. No, we cannot say. Actually, we can say that if the national is from that country particularly, then he either cannot be registered as a assignee of the proprietor of the patent, or he cannot apply for a license to hold any license under a patent granted under this act. Very simple. No, we cannot we can say that understanding is clear, and not more explanation is needed here. And I can say this way both the two subsections, subsection 6 is completed. Okay, so please go through the video, please go through the bare act as well. Please compliment or comment in the comment section. And yeah, after completing this chapter, actually I have decided to make a quiz for each chapter, and for I think that will make more interaction. Okay, and it will also create an interest among all the candidates, all of us. Okay, okay, please please subscribe my channel, and please give some compliments or comments so that I will also be encouraged. Okay, so thank you so much.